Hello, you're welcome back. So in this particular class, I'm going to be showing you how to create lead ad. As you can see, I'm connecting with my Facebook page. All right. So you can just go to your laptop or you can use your desktop browser on your phone. All right. So this is my Facebook page. So here's my ad manager. All right. So as you can see, once you click on your ad manager from your Facebook page, you're going to take you to this particular place. So this is your ad manager account. All right, so we are going to be creating lead. So once you click on this green button, we said create. All right, now it's going to open up a pop-up for you. All right, just go ahead and say create. Now you can see that we have different kind of ad manager. We have awareness, we have traffic, we have engagement. Now I've already covered awareness, traffic, engagement. All right, so this particular I'm focusing on lead. So if you have not watched my previous videos, you can go to my channel and watch my previous videos on awareness, traffic, and engagement. All right, this particular video is aimed at lead. All right, how to generate leads. Now leads are people you get on WhatsApp. You get a form. All right, it's a leads. It's a collect lead for your business or brand. Right, you can use website and instant forms, messenger, Instagram, and WhatsApp. All right, so if you see any ad on Facebook whereby you click on and then it's telling you to fill a form, that's lead. All right, that's lead ad. They want to collect information from you they can use to be updating you. All right, so it's converting the your audience to become a buying customer. All right, so you can use messenger. There are different options that are going to use to gain access to the people. All right, so this is what we're going to get from our lead. So I'm going to click on continue. All right, so if you want to make sales on Facebook, we have sale. I've already run I think I've already had a class about how to create sales on Facebook. You can go and check my videos. All right, so to proceed, you just click on continue. So I'm just going to wait for it to load out. So I'm going to have to cancel this. It's just kind of a promotion. So here is your page, right? Our page has been loaded. Here's your page. You can see there's a lead. This lead ad. Now you can always change the name. So you can change the name according to the way you want it. Now here is our daily budget. You can see our budget. So you can go ahead and reduce it because I'm in Nigeria, so I can use minimum of 1,500. That's the minimum. I mean the conversion rate, you can use $1. All right, when you convert it, depending on where you are watching from, you can just convert the $1 to your currency, and that is the minimum amount you can use to run ad a day. You can see it's very cheap. Okay, so that's all for this particular page. We are just going to go ahead and click on next to move to our next page. So you just wait for it to load out. Here it's going to load your conversation. Here is where we are going to pick where we want to run the ad. Now this particular ad is going to run on WhatsApp, right? So we want this ad to run on WhatsApp. You can see. Now it's going to show you conversation location. You can either use website or we can use WhatsApp. Let me zoom that in so that you can see perfectly. It's now conversation location. Choose where you want to generate leads. All right. You can choose a website if you have a website whereby people will enter into your website, and when they click on a link, all right, they'll be able to generate. The website will be the one to give them the lead. Okay. All right. So I also have a course on how to create a landing page. You can also check my pages to watch that. All right. You can see the options that we have here. We have website and instant forms, which is the major one we are going to go for. All right, we have a website and calls. You want people to call you directly on your ad, you can make use of that particular one also. Then we have instant form and messenger. Now the one we are basically focused on is website and instant form. That's the purpose we call it lead, right? Because you can get information from the people, from your audience. All right. So there are different options that we have access to. But the first one, which is what forms and lead website instant form, that's what we are interested in on this particular one. So that's what I advise you to pick. If you claim that you want to run a ad, or I want to run lead ad, that's what you're supposed to take. All right, so you can see the options of what we have. Yeah, instant form, we have WhatsApp, we have now the instant form means that when you run the ad, pick instant form. It means that when they click on your ad, they are going to fill form immediately. Okay. If you click on WhatsApp, it means that if they click on your ad, they are going to fill the form and then go to your WhatsApp and send you a message on WhatsApp. So that is the difference between the two of them. So you need to know what you want. All right. You need to know how you wish to run your ad. All right. So just click on instant form. All right. You can see we currently cannot create that. Let me zoom in. It's terms of service not accepted. You can't run lead ad until your Facebook page accepts. Okay. This particular, now what this means is that particular page has not accepted the lead there are term conditions that I have to accept before I can run ad on this particular page. So this particular account, I've used to run hundreds of ads, but I've never used to run a lead ad before. So it's new to lead ad. That's why they are giving me this option. So you can say view terms. So you just go through if you are doing this for the first time, you are going to have to practice. You just click on I agree. All right. Now, when you click on I agree, they are going to allow you to continue with your ad. All right. So they will allow you to continue with your ad. So just scroll down. Right, so you're going to have to cross-check, notably whether if it is instant form that you want people to receive from. I'm stating this so that you will understand that they are different. Okay, there are different scenarios. Right, there are some that take you straight to WhatsApp after you have filled the form, where there are some it's just form that you collect. Now it says maximize the number of lead. Right, that's what we are going to go for. So not to edit any of those stuff. Now we'll need to add our audience at the end of the day. All right, so our previous page we set our budget already, so we don't need to do that again. So you can see we have our audience. Now yes, the audience, the targeted audience we want to target on this ad, which is the most important thing. All right, in case you don't know how to do that, make sure you watch my previous video on how to create a targeted audience. All right, this targeted audience determines the people that your ad will be shown to. All right, you can see these are audience I have created for different companies that I work with. All right, these are ads created. You can see age, the location of this, and what they do, what they're interested in. All right, if you don't target your audience, Facebook is going to show your ad to a lot of persons that are not interested. You must make research about a particular ad and sure that it is targeted to people who are interested in it. All right, you can see the targeted audience. You can see that there's an age limit. All right, so in between the age of 23 to 65, anything below 3 will not see my ad. All right, now so you also look at I also add locations. All right, location, state, country, all these things are what you add targeted audience, what they are interested in. All right, so now in case you want where you want your ad to show up on. All right, you want it to show up on marketplace. If you go to Facebook marketplace, you used to see advert there. If I highlight that marketplace, it's going to pop there. Now this we have audience network, panel and interstitial. We have other places that Facebook show your ad to. All right, if you don't want any of these parts, you just remove it. Okay, now I don't want it to show up on marketplace. That is why it is not highlighted. All right, if I want it to show up, I'm just going to go ahead and highlight it. Now if this ad starts running, people on if you go to your marketplace, you're most likely to see this particular ad running there. Right, so you can go ahead and just pick the one you don't want. It's that easy, very easy. All right, so you go to continue, confirm. All right, we are done with that. And what we have to do, we are going to go to our next, click on next to go to your next page. All right, this page is one of the most important. All right, this is where we run our this is where we pick what we want to add this. Okay, you can see that what we have is not, we don't have next on our, it's now public. We are done with this page. We are going to go and publish our ad directly. All right, so let me just go over. So this ad, now you can see create ad. Click on it. Now you have multiple options. Okay, you can go ahead create this ad with this version. You will create your ad, upload your image there, or if it is video you are in and everything. Here the write up. Now if you click on use existing, you're going to go ahead and do option. We'll use post that you have already made before. Now it is better you use existing post. That's the best option for you, so that you can go over to your page and collect that post you have made. That's what we are going to do now. So just wait for it to load out. Right, you are seeing the options on our right hand bar. So once we have done adding, now it says select post. Right, on our creative, you can see we have select post as an option. That's because we want to be highlighted use existing post. So we just wait for it to load. The page is still loading, so don't need to be in a hurry. Right. Alright, so you can see we have form, destination, make connection by letting them send contact information. Now you can see add is a little bit complicated than the normal. Right here we have to create form. Right, we have to create your form. So and hit on the create form. So here you get the form by information that you want to add. All right, you pick information that you want to call your audience. All right, there's the form that's already created for you. As you can see, that's the form created for you. Now you can add or remove information from this form. You can see publish form delete. Feasible form delete. So this is the head. All right, this is you just have to you should have option to really understand what they want yourself into and want to benefit from the product. All right, so you can just anything there. All right, this is going to be showing up on your so that they're able to feel it. So important you update your so that they will know once they get to it. So if you want email, want to call phone number, here you add them. This is the contact information. All right, if you don't want them, there's things that by default, if anyone just go ahead to and create delete. All right, I don't need zip code. I can just go ahead and just hit delete. Right, so you can go ahead and delete you don't want. And you can add category. You can see there's code category. Add category. Add anything. Add. There are hundreds of options. Add there. So it's very easy. So you just make sure that with your form, you have already drafted the form. Draft it out first to know what to collect from your audience. All right. You have to be too bulky. It means phone number and email. That's what you would all those zip code, phone number, and their name. If you're interested, collect that. You want to collect from them and move on. If you are done with all these things, you click on next. We're going to be creating our form. Now, as you are done, so this display of the form on your right hand. So we don't publish, we'll put the form. We are done with that. I just come here and now creative. We haven't done that to let's so those we have on our page. So you just pick what you want to advertise. Now, all it means that is this particular post. All right, to run ad before. Use to run different and use it to run a lead. So I'm going to see the day of how it's going to look like on the right hand bar.